Welcome to Tassie Rules, Tasmania's footy show. Great to have you once again with us this week. We've got another big show coming up on tonight's program. Now, Club in Focus. We're going to be heading to the tiny township of Bracknell. In fact, we'll be joined by one of their players ahead of a big weekend coming up next week at Cressy. Don't forget, you can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok now, where we'll have some of the highlights of the show from this week on there over the course of the next 5 or 6 days as well. And of course, get in touch with us. Any photos you've got, any news or topics you'd like us to discuss. But firstly, we've got a really important message that we're going to focus on. It is Road Safety Week, and plenty of schools and football clubs are getting the messages, and we're going to provide a message and firstly, a little video for you to watch here ahead of Road Safety Week.
What would you say to a 16-year-old who's just starting to learn how to drive for road safety?
Turn your phone off.
Make really good decisions.
Stay within those speed limits.
You don't have to race to be somewhere.
Slow down, you'll get there eventually.
It's very difficult at that age, they're quite fearless.
If your mates are making bad decisions, tell them.
It's not worth the risk of drinking and taking drugs and driving a car.
You've got to consider everyone else on the road.
Well, it is National Road Safety Week, and here at Tassie Rules, we wanted to spend the next few minutes talking about this very topic because as we go to air, many of you are at football training, about to jump in the car after maybe a beer or two, and of course, travelling for work or school or wherever it may be. We've got some great ideas and topics to discuss, so we wanted to spend a few minutes with a man who's been heavily involved with this through the Road Safety Council of Tasmania and putting this together with the Hawthorn Football Club and the very talented Dylan Moore, talented on and off the park, I must say, with his performance. David Cox is the head of Tasmanian operations for Hawthorn. Nice to see you again.
Great
Welcome.
to be here. Thanks for having me.
Wow, pretty powerful stuff. That was a 39-second clip, and I know there are more videos as well, but tell us about, because obviously this has been a partnership that's been going for some time.
Yeah, it's the third year of that partnership, and I think it started off really, we were partnering with the Road Safety Advisory Council to be the naming rights sponsor of the Tassie Hawks Cup, which is the state's only high school football competition. And it was really designed to get in front of kids who are about to start their learner driving journey. So you want to start them off with the right mindset, the right behaviours, and the right modelling. So we've used our plays and various video pieces to do that. But this piece is really compelling because it's really about showing what the ripple effects of, and we don't talk about accidents, talk about crashes, because an accident, I guess, dilutes the intensity of what actually happens, which is the trauma. And often fatalities. So we interviewed, or Dylan did. Dylan Moore was amazing, as you point out. I said to him afterwards, mate, if this football gig doesn't work out, you've got another career waiting for you. But we talked to head of orthopedics, head of surgery, emergency department nurses, a chief inspector in the police, whose role has often been to talk to families who have lost a loved one and to deliver that news. It's really profound. It's really compelling. And this suite of videos are going to be shown through schools as part of their learner driver curriculum, as well as football clubs and shorter versions like the 39-second one that'll go on social.
I watched the 6.5-minute one that's going to be going through the schools. What I love about it in terms of the message that it gets across is they are simple messages at the end of the day. Nothing's really changed in terms of what you should not do. Like David Penn in orthopedics, turn your phone off.
It's interesting. I'm an adult. I've been driving for 35 years or so, but it's a really great reminder of what you should do. And I mean, of an age where probably, drugs is not an issue for me, and alcohol, rarely, but the constant being accessible via phones and devices is a real problem. So, that the learner for me was, do not use your phone in the car, put it totally out of reach.
Stop. Yeah. I guess before we move on to the next topic, it highlights once again, and obviously as a proud partner of our footy show, but Hawthorn is so invested in the community, and it is all for the reasons of trying to support, help, and make people aware, not just on road safety, but many things.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, football players of any colour really, whether it's brown and gold or what other colours they might be, have a way of reaching communities that authorities, governments, educators maybe can't, because the kids in particular, are so used to getting messages about life lessons.
Yeah.
But when a role model talks to you and gives advice on what to say and what to do and how to behave, people tend to sit up and notice. It's like with we talked before, I think, about the Premier's reading challenge. When the Premier tells a 10-year-old kid to read a book, probably the 10-year-old kid says, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
But when Dylan Moore or Nick Watson or Jack Ginnivan says read a book, they know exactly who that is, and it's
True.
more inclined to connect.
Yeah.
So we take that responsibility really seriously.
Football on the park, Friday, 13th of June. I can't wait for this. Adelaide Crows, going to be a great game, but the first ever Friday night football game in Tasmania.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
We are excited. We don't get that really ever. We've never had it in our 25 years of being here, a Friday night. That's the wedding night of football,
Yes.
if you think about it, And so, we are very aware that we want to make it a show. And apart from obviously the guys on the field are going to do their best to win, we want to win off field. And by that, what that means is we want to give Launceston and, this town and this community a massive spotlight through a national broadcast platform. So we're pretty excited about amplifying that centenary message. As you do know, we've turned 100 this year, 100 years of playing in the VFL, AFL. So it's a big milestone for us. We've got something special planned for pre-game at that night.
Wow. Ticket sales must be pretty strong, I would imagine.
It's if you need to get them,
Yes.
get them quickly. I would say. But that's that week, that Friday night is kind of the culmination of a full week of activity actually that we've got happening across the state.
Fantastic. Can't wait. Good segue into the centenary, because we're both fortunate to beat the MCG a few weeks ago for an amazing day celebrating the centenary. Very jealous of you, David Cox, because I think you probably had the best day of your life, because being a 1980s man, tell us about what you got to do.
So, it was a big deal for us. So the MCG is the biggest sporting stage in the country, and we used that particular match against Richmond. Richmond was the first team we played in the VFL. So we used that match to revisit and celebrate 100 years, and everyone in the organisation had to come together to do something on the day. We all had different roles to play. My role was to look after the 1980s legends and 5 premiership cups and keep them contained. Tell you what, hard to keep Dipper and Platten contained. I can tell you that. They were very funny, very active, and very engaged with the audience. But that was an amazing honour, really, to be involved with them.
Yeah.
And I even snuck in inadvertently in their selfies, which is inadvertently. Content team's going, "Get out of the frame, Coxie," but I had no choice. But yeah, that was amazing, and that was an amazing moment in time for the club.
Yep. I remember sitting at the luncheon, and I had to slap my face to listening to Lee Matthews there, and you think, with what he's achieved, a lot of the younger people think about Collingwood and the Brisbane Lions, but man, he's Hawthorn through and through, and that was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it was really amazing having Alistair Clarkson come back as well. That was, for me, probably one of the highlights, was the importance of recognising, his role and his contribution as part of that 100 years, four flags under his leadership. So he was an important inclusion. I was just really thrilled to have him as part of that.
That was a great day. And Tasmanians aren't going to miss out on the 13 Premiership Cups either, because there's obviously a big tour happening around the country, but it's coming up. We're going to pop some details up on the screen for you all to see. But importantly, this is happening in June, 10th, 11th and 12th, Devonport, Hobart, Launceston. It is a free event, but you've got to register.
It's
depending on what you want.
It's free for members.
Yeah.
It's essentially a photo opportunity with all the 13 cups. You have to register via the link on the screen, which we'll get to see in a moment. And essentially, we have it in kind of half-hour time slots, just so we can kind of manage that traffic flow. So put your details in, and then we'll email you confirmation in due course. But essentially, an opportunity for you to get up close, touch, hold the cups, have a photo taken. And because we are the Tassie Hawks, it's important for us to be able to reach out to the community across the state. So for that reason, Devonport, Launceston and Hobart.
Brilliant. Love it. And, as do the maths, a quarter of Hawthorn's existence has been down in here in Tasmania as well. So
It's a really important
it
part
is.
of our club's history.
David Cox, Head of Tasmanian Operations at the Hawks. Always great to see you. Look forward to seeing you on the 13th of June.
Thanks for
Going to be
having
a
me.
cracking night. Thank you.
It'll be great.
That's David Cox joining us from the Hawthorn Football Club. Quick break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice. Call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
Great to have your company on this Thursday with thanks to Harrison Agents, our club in focus. Well, it is going to be a big day for the Bracknell Football Club. On Saturday, the 24th of May, they're going to be heading to Cressy to take on St Pat's in NTFA Division 1 action. This has become a great initiative from the Redlegs as they pay homage and go back to a town that used to be a massive rival. They're only a few minutes, a few kilometres from the township of Bracknell, but Cressy is going to come alive. For those of you not familiar with it, just outside of Longford, but a former great football club, and a man who's going to be playing on the day is Josh Frankham, who's in his first season with the Bracknell Football Club this year. Good to see you. Welcome.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I got to start though, because obviously you are a Longford Premiership captain from 2022.
Yep.
I've been and seen Longford and Bracknell. There are some great rivalries in footy. Josh, Longford and Bracknell is probably right up there near the top. How did that go? How nervous were you in your discussions with Longford to say, I'm going down the road?
Yeah, I suppose it's always one of those things in the back of your mind sort of thing with the rivalry like it is. Yeah, it was pretty hard, I suppose. Like I've got a lot of mates at both clubs and they were really, really good with it actually, to be honest. Like just come out and sort of said to the group about it and my reasons why, my ties, why I wanted to go and have a year over at Bracknell. And like both Longford and Scotch were really, really good with it.
Fantastic. You're going to be lining up on a day that no doubt you'll be looking forward to personally, but it's a pretty significant day for the family as well. Obviously, your family connection with the club, and I think your mum and dad are away at the moment, going to be back just in time to be out at Cressy next weekend. But you must personally be looking forward to playing at Cressy.
Yeah, I suppose both ties, to both clubs, and the merger of the game. Obviously, it was a pretty big year when they done it last year, and to be involved in it like coming up now will be even bigger for us, especially for me, with Dad obviously being involved with both clubs and Pop as well, sort of thing. So
we got a photo. I think you might be in there's the jumper, and of course the day coming up, taking on St Pat's. It's going to be a massive day at the Cressy Football Ground. It's a big ground.
Yeah.
You're going to know you've run a game that day, aren't you?
Yeah, we've trained a little bit on it pre-season, like coming into this year, due to works at our ground at Bracknell. So it was it's a pretty solid, and it was quite dry early days, but it is big. We're looking forward to playing on it, and because a lot of the grounds in our comp, sort of we've found so far, have actually been quite a bit smaller.
Yes.
So it'll be nice to have a bit of room to run around.
It will. Be able to use your pace.
Yeah.
There is a lot happening, as we alluded to a moment ago, but there's a big premiership reunion coming up on that weekend as well. It's the 30-year premiership reunion. So Saturday, the 24th of May from 12 noon at the footy ground, of course. Any information you want, you can touch base with Nicole Jones. It'll be hosted by the Bracknell Football Club. Check out the Facebook page as well from the footy club. But that'll be a great day, and obviously welcoming Cressy supporters and any fans to come along as well. But that'll be a great day having them, no doubt, barracking for you guys in the background and for them reminiscing.
Yeah, it should be a good day for all of them to get back together, sort of thing. There is a lot of them sort of floating about that catch up from time to time, but it'd be good to have them all in the one place with a big day, a big game. Pack a lot of people and cars into the old Cressy ground.
It will be. It'll be a terrific day. I love this initiative as well with junior games that are going to be played on the day, and there will be two. So at 9 a.m. kids from prep to grade 3, and then at 10:15, grade 4 to grade 6. Contact details are on your screen now and also on social media. But see the bottom pick there, I think, from the kids last year in the bottom right-hand corner. But this is a great initiative to get the kids out and about and exercising and playing as well. So we obviously want to encourage a lot of children in the area to get out and have a kick.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. Like I grew up in Cressy myself, and actually joined a few like little league games, I suppose I used to say. And yeah, I still remember doing that, and it sort of brings all the younger kids through and gets them on that path to keep coming through like these divisions and keep get behind the NTFA footy.
Indeed. For a tiny town, Bracknell Football Club really punches above its weight, doesn't it? I mean, 2021 in particular, they won the premiership. It was a great year for them, and we've got a photo of that. There we are, the reaction there at UTAS Stadium. Corey Goodluck, of course, was playing coach that year, winning the Premier Division Grand Finals, as I said, back in 2021. But how are you enjoying your time down there at the club? Because it's a wonderful, close-knit club that has had a lot of success, but is very strong off the field as well.
Yeah, it is. Like the amount of work that the volunteers and everyone around the club, gets down to behind the scenes is massive for a small town. And they'd bend over backwards for anyone really to help the club go forwards, and all the new players, like the way they've welcomed us in this year, and a lot of other younger guys that have come there has been unreal. Anything you need or feeling comfortable. The footy's been really good, and it's very, very similar to Longford, and that's probably why that rivalry's there. Yeah,
very true. The club obviously playing in the NTFA Division 1 now, following the restructure of the leagues that's come into effect this year. Rochely, benchmark early in the season as probably would be expected. They're undefeated. But you guys are sitting third just behind Lilydale. St Pat's are fourth. How are you finding the competition? Because obviously you're playing against teams you haven't played before. But how are you finding it as a player in this new competition?
Yeah, well, personally, I think it's probably the best it's been, really, like that competition. Like, as we sort of touched on before, like if you're off your game for 1 week or even a half of footy, you really could get run over by the other sides because the comp is so strong. You don't really have those 2, 3, 4 sides that are really sort of sitting above everyone else this year, which is good. It makes it fun. You never know sort of what you're going to come up against each week then.
No, that's right. And especially this week, I mean, you're up against your former club where you've had enormous success in Old Scotch. They haven't tasted success this year, but is this a game where I know you're expected to win, but is this a bit of a danger game? I mean, I think we said off camera before, they've gotten closer to Rochely than anyone. This is not a walk in the park.
No, I don't think so. And it's a big day down there this weekend with the Premiership reunion and Past Players Day down there as well. So obviously the crowd and with that on, they're always grow another leg sort of thing. And it is a danger game for us. So we're going to turn up and, give it 100% and not knowing or, not sort of ticking anything off before we start.
That's right. And they are a very proud, historic and successful club. So it should be a beauty. We're just going to pop up the details one more time just on the Cressy game for next week. But Josh, while we do that, thank you for being on the show. I know we've had you on a few times and wearing different colours this year. And you look like you're in a good space with Bracknell and enjoying your footy. It's a great comp. I'm really enjoying Division 1. So we hope next week goes well against St Pat's and obviously this week against Old Scotch. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Cheers.
It's great to have Josh Frankham joining us on the show from the Bracknell Football Club. And we're going to have a quick break and we'll wrap it up with some footy news after the break.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice. Call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
HST Tree Specialists. We are the industry leaders in vegetation management in Tasmania. Our services include tree solutions, hazardous vegetation removal, and project consultations. We are committed to eliminating vegetation-based risk in Tasmania while being sensitive to environmental impact, with a strong focus on health and safety practices. And from large-scale government and commercial projects, small private arboriculture jobs, and equipment hire, MyTas recommends HST.
Welcome back. It's good to have you with us. Footy news from around Tasmania. We haven't touched on it for a few weeks, so we thought we'd bring you up to speed on what's happening in the 3 regional Premier Leagues to the NWFL firstly. And Devonport and Ulverston, well, they are setting the pace. They are the only undefeated sides, as you can see there, 5 wins from 5. And in the women's, well, this is a different story. It is an incredibly tight ladder. Wynyard are 4 from 4. Then we've got 4 sides with 3 wins apiece in Penguin, Devonport, Ulverston and Burnie. So an incredibly tight ladder there. Matches coming up this week in the NWFL. Ulverston are at home to Devonport. What a match this is going to be in the men's, because they are both undefeated. And we've got Penguin taking on the Circular Head Saints. Wynyard are at home to Latrobe, and East Devonport standalone in the men's game against the Burnie Dockers. That one also at 2:20 p.m. Let's go to the SFL now in the Premier League and the men's ladder. And you can see there on top of the ladder at the moment, we have got Lauderdale and Clarence, not too far off the pace either, whilst in the women, again, a very even competition. No undefeated team after the opening 5 rounds, which is great for the comp. All teams have now played each other once, so this weekend's matches will give a good gauge of the improvement of the clubs as we take a look at the matches coming up this weekend. Kingborough are taking on North Hobart. Should be 2 good matches here in the men's and the women's. 3rd v 4th in the men's, 2nd v 3rd in the women. Down at Bellerive, Clarence are taking on Lauderdale. Top of the table clash in the men. Should be a cracker, and Lauderdale undefeated and Clarence with just the 1 loss. So that should be a fantastic day down there. And Pontville Oval, Brighton and Glenorchy. Now, Glenorchy beat Brighton by 31 points in the opening round, but Brighton are yet to record a win. But I don't think they're far away. This should be a beauty at Pontville. They've been very competitive, and really looking forward to that Brighton-Glenorchy clash. And finally, let's have a look at the NTFA Premier League. And the ladder there for the men's, well, North Launceston, 4 from 4, huge percentage. And then we've got Launceston, South and Longford. Deloraine with the 1 win from Scottsdale, yet to record a win in the women. What a start it's been for Deloraine. And they are 4 from 4. And Launceston, 3 wins and 1 loss, are making up the top 4, South Launceston and Scottsdale. And looking at the matches this week, Deloraine are taking on Launceston out at Deloraine. The women's match, it's a 1st versus 2nd clash, that one. Longford are at home to South Launceston. Now, the men's game here, Longford had a brilliant performance last week against Launceston. They only went down, I think, by about 8 points. So they'll take some great confidence into that game against the Bulldogs. And then at Scottsdale on Saturday, they take on North Launceston. It is the Jamie Dennis Memorial Cup. We've got details on the screen for you. It's a huge day coming up. I know North Launceston have got a bus heading up for that one. And remembering the great Jamie Dennis, who was an absolute champion for both Scottsdale and North Launceston. You could write a book on what he's achieved in his career, but tragically, his life cut short by cancer, passing away at the age of just 33. So his daughter, Alex Hall, co-captain of the Scottsdale women, will be leading the side out on Saturday, and it will be a terrific day. So we wish people well. I'll be going up there for a bit of a look, and I'm sure it'll be a great day. Something coming up on the 31st of May. This is a great annual event at the Rochely Football Club, the Aboriginal round match. It's going to feature the long walk, which will start at 10:30 a.m. That is from Brooks High School, and that'll go to the Rochely Oval. And then a couple of matches coming up. We've got the NTJFA under-17 girls. They will be in action, and then we'll have a special guest here in the studio as well, joining us ahead of the game. But Rochely and Georgetown will be playing in the Division 1 senior match that afternoon. So if you want to get up there, it is a very, very special day. So pop that one in your calendar. A few photos as well. Thank you to our regular contributors, in particular Dave Harding, who sent this marking contest in during the Cygnet-Sorel clash last week in the SFL Community League. Cygnet winning that one by just 9 points. And another regular contributor, Peter Haley, who is out there with Perth Football Club, has sent us in these couple of crackers. Big crowd too. This was Perth taking on Campbelltown, two big rivals from years ago. Campbelltown back in the NTFA after coming through in from the Oatlands District Football Association. We've also got Wesley Vale Football Club, a bit of a shout out for them. They've got an event coming up on the 5th of July after their home match with Isaac Smith, who's going to be heading down to the Footy Club. So there are the details on there. There's a QR code, or jump onto the Wesley Vale Football Club Facebook page. And just finally, what an achievement this is. Andrew Cox-Goodger, an absolute star of football here in northern Tasmania, going to go out for his 300th senior game this weekend. We wish him well. 262nd game with Rochalee this will be. He played 38 with North Launceston. Two-time North Launceston Premiership player. Five-time Rochalee Premiership player. He's a terrific fella, and we wish him well and congratulations on a great milestone. And how's this? This is quite quirky. Logan Wright, he's from the Bridge North Football Club. There he is. He's not in a Bridge North jumper. As you know, Bridge North are the Parrots. There's two football clubs in Australia called the Parrots. The other one's Leongatha. And this weekend, Logan Wright's heading over to play with Leongatha and put on a Parrots jumper in the reserves over there. So he becomes the first ever double Parrot. And I think this is great. Great initiative, and we hope it goes well for Logan. He'll no doubt be back next week, but hope that goes well. So nice way to end the show on Tassie Rules, Tasmania's footy show. A big thanks to all of our guests. Thank you to you for following our show. Keep up to date. We'll have plenty of snippets coming up throughout the course of the week, but we'll be back here once again. Brendan Gale's coming up in a couple of weeks too, so make sure you stick around for that one. Have a great footy weekend. We'll catch you next Thursday.